Welcome to the Local BS, where we want to hear your business stories. Today, we're going to talk to Chris Thompkins with Freedom Pool Services. Welcome. Today we have Mr. Chris Thompkins from Freedom Pool Services, based out of Harrisburg, North Carolina. And everybody, you've been in Harrisburg for how long?
Business has been 6 years, and we've been full-time 4 years.
4 years. So there's a lot of people in Harrisburg that knows you. There's a lot that don't. So that's why we're here today. We kind of want to spotlight you and ask you a bunch of questions, learn more about you as well as your company. And so let you have the ball right now and just talk to us about, a little bit about your company as well as your personal life too, like your kids, your family, and let's just get to know more about you.
Perfect. I'm Chris Thompkins, Freedom Pool Service, 51-year-old husband, father of two boys, 22 and 18, both graduating. One graduating from Coastal Carolina this year. He's a cybersecurity major. And my 18-year-old's graduating from J.M. Robinson High School. He's a runner, committed to Pfeiffer.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
So,
congrats on that.
Cybersecurity, man.
Stoked to be an empty nester soon.
That's a great industry to be in.
Yeah, very much so. So, he went a couple of different routes before he decided that's the avenue he wanted to take, or not so much before that's what he wanted to commit to in college.
Right.
So, in high school, we went through, hey, get on Indeed and find out what you want to do. And, everybody wants to be a sports whatever. And I'm like, find the jobs around here that are a sports director or to work for, whatever. And he was like, yeah, they don't make a lot of money. I'm like, no, they don't. And
so did they ever work for you?
they both work for me, and they both work for me every summer. That's part of the deal.
They still work for
100%.
you.
100%. That's the deal in our house.
Okay, so what do they do for Freedom Pools?
They clean pools.
They clean pools.
Vacuum. Like my 22-year-old has been working for me since the start, every summer.
That's great.
Or every spring break or every winter break.
Do either one of them want to take over the business?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
What made you start a pool service company?
Well, back up. I want to know more about, you have a crazy past, I think. Military, correct?
I have a wide spectrum background. So yes, I was a high school athlete, went to college, didn't do well. I'm the son of a pastor.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Yeah. So
like Southern Baptist from the grace of God, or like
non-denominational.
Non-denominational, okay.
Yeah. So my dad's my mom's a fiery little redhead Italian, first one born here, and my dad's a big, tall English German. So, the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
But my dad was, he's got a pretty good testimony, which that's a whole nother thing. But so he grew up not as a good person, and so he knew how to handle himself when I was a rambunctious teenager.
Yeah, he knew that.
Oh,
he knew you.
Yeah, he was a state championship wrestler, so he was really good.
He put you in your place.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I was a rebellious. I'm the oldest of four.
Oh yeah.
So I broke all the rules and all
It's
the
weird.
ice
I can't
for
see you
everybody.
breaking any rules.
I know.
It's weird. It's really weird, Chris.
So he was, go to college so I went to college and went to small college, bombed out, got out from underneath my parents' thumb and enjoyed partying and all that good stuff.
And he was a pastor when you were in college.
Yeah.
You were raised as him as a pastor. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you left college.
So when I got home from college, it was, hey, you're going to leave or join the military, but you're not staying here.
Yeah.
So I went in the military for a little bit.
Great choice.
What branch did you go into?
The Army.
Did
There's
you really?
other branches?
I'm
just kidding.
I'm not going to tell you what my dad did.
No, I always say that, and I get everybody all riled up. So, and that's a good thing about being a veteran-owned company. We give veteran and law enforcement discounts.
Yeah.
So, for any veterans out there that need some pool service, we can get
How long were you in the Army?
I did a couple years and then a couple years in the reserves. So I needed it.
Yeah.
It was a
good eye opener.
It was a good eye opener.
Yeah.
It was a good little bit of responsibility, teaches you those things.
Is that the idea? Is like, I was not in the military. I wish I was, but I've always heard like it kind of, breaks you down and builds you back up.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They take you to the bottom of, and then, they teach you to move past what you think you can do and into things that, like I tell my sons, as being a prior athlete, don't let your body tell your mind what to do. Make your mind tell your body what to do.
Right.
So they're good about that.
It's even good business advice, what you just said.
It is. I mean, it's just good life advice
It is.
in general.
It is.
Right? I mean, if you think you can do it, you can do it. And that goes for anything, and not just business, but, if you're sick and you think, if you can get through it and you maintain a positive attitude and a good mental state, more than likely, the outcome's going to be better if you're negative.
I heard a military guy yesterday. I was listening to a podcast, and he said, quit tomorrow. He said, focus on today, every hour, just what you're going to do today. And he's like, quit tomorrow. And then we get tomorrow, quit tomorrow. And I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I used to tell, so I've been one of the many things I've done, I coached track.
Yeah.
And I used to tell my track kids, I use the old jelly roll, the windshield's bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason.
Right. Yeah.
Don't focus on the past, anything that happened yesterday. The only thing you need to do is learn from it.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't learn from it, that's your fault.
Right.
Right. But don't dwell on it. Flush it and move on to the next day or the next event or the next job or whatever that winds up being, because you can't change the past.
No, that's good advice.
It's so good.
So, I came, moved down here. Always wanted to get into racing. I helped out some local racers where I lived in New York.
Yeah.
And some of them they live down here now. But large family, had a lot of race car drivers. My dad was a race car driver back in the day. We raced together, which, growing up in high school was really one of the only few times we ever got along, because it was the one thing we had a lot in common.
Right.
Had a really strong bond when it came to racing. So I came down here and got a job in racing. Eventually got on a pit crew, changed tires for many, many years, gassed for many years.
Now at the NASCAR level, or
the Cup Series.
Yeah, the Cup Series. That's great.
All started out at the bottom like everybody else.
Yeah.
Doing some occasional Saturday night at Concord Speedway when it was open.
Yeah.
In the Hoovers Pro Cup Series. Worked for the Richard Petty Driving Experience for a while, and then went to a team. Actually was on the Petty development team back when Jeff Green, Bobby Labonte, and Kyle Petty was there. So I started out, on a ARCA Busch and Cup deal with Paul Menard, and was on the 45 with Kyle, and then went to Robbie Gordon's, and then went to Roush, and a lot of different opportunities, a lot of racetracks, saw a lot of things. I mean, worked with a lot of good people.
So what got you out of that industry?
It got to a point. You lose a lot of weekends when you race 38 weekends a year, and you're gone for 38 weekends.
A lot of time in the air.
It's great for a single person.
Yeah.
But when you start having kids, you miss, first soccer games,
first
birthdays, you miss all that stuff. So you got to get to a point of
choosing.
Yeah. And then, went to work for, and a supplier that supplied the impact guns in the series of NASCAR. So started out with them when NASCAR first went to a spec impact gun, and did that for a couple years. And my dad got sick. My son was getting ready to go to college, so you need to spend some time with, the people that are important.
Right.
We had done enough missing at that point. And one of the guys that was in racing actually started a pool company. And I had a pool at our house, and he was like, hey, man, you should think about doing this, or, I needed parts. And he was like, man, you know how to build race cars. You can fix this yourself. Right. He's like, you're mechanical, electrical, you can plumb. He goes, I'll send you the parts. You fix it. I'll tell you how to do it. If you need any help, call me. And then I started tagging along with him. He wanted to get out of, he wanted to narrow his focus of the area that he worked in. He's like, you should start doing this. I said, well, I should. So maybe that'll give me an avenue to get out of there. And, Gavin, our oldest son, went away to Virginia to start playing baseball. He played at a small college in Virginia. And I was like, when my son calls me on Wednesday at 12 o'clock and says, hey, I'm going to get the start for tonight's game. Those are things that if you work for somebody, you can't just drop what you're doing and walk.
Yeah.
So those were the biggest things, trying to have an exit strategy out of racing, work for myself.
Right.
And be able to watch my kids do the things that they can do. And,
Was it a scary transition from...
I was already doing it part-time.
Okay.
So I don't want to say it was scary. It was, we never lived above our means. I'm very fortunate. I don't...
I don't see you have anything extravagant.
No.
Even till today. And
we don't when I was a pit crew guy, like a lot of the guys around me are buying wakeboard boats or for bass boats or motorcycles or, have I had a motorcycle before? Yes. But, I don't own a sports car, just a regular pickup truck guy. And my wife drives a Hyundai Santa Fe. So, we're out buying caddies and all that stuff. So we've been very fortunate. All that money I made in racing, we put it into our house, and we bought stocks and
that's good.
Paid retirement, and so
it's been a crazy transition from military to NASCAR. Now you have a pool company. So how's the pool company going?
Excellent. Pool industry, statistically in Charlotte, is one of the fastest growing industries in the United States.
Really?
So, or the Charlotte market, pool wise, is one of the fastest or largest pool regions in the U.S.
So what do you do for pools for homes? If someone wanted to call you, what do you offer? If someone has a pool.
We specialize in service. So I'm a big fan of staying in our wheelhouse and doing what we do well, and that's servicing people's pools. So
that's the niche.
Yes. So if you own a pool and you're a new pool owner or you're an old pool owner and you don't want to do anything and you just want to swim, that's where we come in.
You take care of everything.
Yeah. And, our guys will come in, they'll dump your pump basket, your skimmer basket, they check over your equipment, they vacuum with one of our commercial vacs.
Yeah.
They run a water test.
So you can just, as a homeowner, enjoy your pool.
That's it.
You take care of everything.
Yeah, that's the Freedom Pool Service motto. It gives you the freedom to enjoy your pool.
Now, what if someone wanted to install a pool?
We have a couple of different builders that we work with.
Okay.
So outside of service, we do startups. So when you build a new pool, there's a certain amount of time for the first 30 days that you can't vacuum it. You can't run a heater. You can't put salt in it. Oh. So for the first 30 days during the startup phase is what it's called, and the time that plaster actually takes to cure in the water.
It takes 30 days.
Yeah. You brush it every day.
So they should talk to you when they're going to put one in to get it going correctly.
Yes. Or the builders that we work for, they build the pool, we come start it up.
Yeah.
And then if the homeowner wants to retain us for service weekly, then they do that.
Okay.
And then we have some builders that we work for that they dig the hole and they plumb to the equipment pad. And then that's the other thing we do well. So we install equipment. So we plumb, we do electrical, we replace pumps, filters, heaters, or
like
the
a one-stop shop.
Or the initial install for that.
Yeah.
And then we do warranty work for Jandy. It's one of the big three pool companies. There's three major, the Ford, Chevy, and Dodges of pool companies, and Jandy, I believe, is the best one.
Yeah.
And it's the one that we work with. They have by far and away the best customer service, and I think the best equipment out there. Easy to get a hold of. They're easy to. That makes my job easy.
Right.
So when I can call the manufacturer and go, "Hey, this is broke. Here's the information. Here, send them. File the warranty claim. They send me the part." And, we have the trust that they're going to send us the part. They have the trust that I'm telling them the right information, and it's seamless for the customer, and the turnaround is extremely quick. Whereas the other two manufacturers, maybe not so much. Actually, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
It's so funny not knowing a lot about pools, and you want one. It's a scary thing if you don't have one, but you made it just sound like, oh yeah, we got it.
It is. I mean, like for most people, a pool is the second largest investment they're going to have outside of their home.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, unless they got 4 Lamborghinis sitting in their driveway.
Yeah, that's the next.
A pool is the next most expensive thing they're going to purchase for their house.
What do you think on average is the cost of a pool these days?
If you're going to put an in-ground pool in today, an in-ground concrete pool, you should expect to spend between $90,000 and $120,000 if you want something with quality that's going to last a lifetime and with good equipment.
Was there a substantial increase after COVID or like during COVID?
Well, everything is, there's 4 different types of pools, right? So there's an above ground pool. There's a fiberglass pool.
I grew up with above ground pool.
Yeah,
that's
the most cost effective.
Right.
Do you service above ground pools?
We do.
You do.
We service above ground pools. We service standalone hot tubs. We service fiberglass pools, liner pools, and concrete pools.
Okay.
And we service them from China Grove to Lake Norman to Lake Tillery to Baden Lake to Piper.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. How far you went?
Our area is massive. Right now, we're servicing like 206 pools a week. And by the end of the summer, we'll be probably around 240. 250.
So typically about an hour out. Because are you going to Baden Lake?
We are going to Baden.
Baden Tillery or something like that. Okay, so you are, about that hour out.
We have a circle. I mean, like on our social, you can see our service area.
Yeah.
I don't want to say we try and stay inside the 485 loop because we go on the other side of it a little bit in certain areas.
Yeah.
Like Lake Norman, down towards like Weddington area.
Right.
So,
do you see yourself opening in another location anywhere? Is there anywhere you want to go to next?
Possibly. We've looked at putting a storefront in somewhere.
Yeah.
So that might be somewhere down the road.
Somewhere down the road, your 5-year plan?
Yeah. Yeah. There's, the problem, I mean, with everything, it's, you got to make sure you got enough capital and you're going to generate enough revenue to justify having it. And, because those stores are usually ghost towns in the winter.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the winter,
winter,
you're still paying
you're hibernating.
Rent. Yeah. So you might be paying rent on a store that's not bringing in any revenue. So,
yeah.
There's things like that you got to weigh in, making sure you got the right people. That's the biggest thing, leading from the front, making sure you hire slow and fire fast, all those.
That's how it is. That's how it is with a lot of industries.
Yeah.
So what's your, when you're looking for a customer first, so if somebody wanted to get a quote, do you go physically need to go out to get a quote? Do you do it over the phone?
Sometimes we do, depending on the pool. Most of the time our pricing is set for 24,000 gallons and under.
Okay. Pretty standard size pool.
Yeah. And then we have 2 different service packages. One is full service, like I described earlier, and that homeowner, both homeowners, we run an automated system. So they know every time that we're there. So they get an email of who was there, what time they were there, what tech was there, what their water was before we showed up, and then what we added. So gives them, it gives us accountability.
Yeah.
It gives them all their historical data on their pool for as long as we serviced it. So if I get run over by a bus tomorrow and they have to find another pool company,
right?
Then not that me getting run over by a bus means that'll be the end of our business, but
right. Yeah. We don't want you run over by a bus.
Agreed.
All right. One of the last questions. A customer that has a pool that's not using your service, what are you telling them?
Why Freedom Pool
Why
Service?
Freedom Pool Services? Great question.
Not because we don't love you.
Why us?
You've been around for a while.
I'm a pretty salty old anal military vet, so I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to call it how I see it. You're not going to get any smoke blown anywhere. We do what we say and we say what we do. If we tell you we're going to be there at 9, we'll be there at 8:45. If your day is Tuesday, we're there on Tuesday.
I love it.
I mean,
just
it's simple business.
Good, yes.
We don't have contracts. We work off of a handshake. I mean, if you don't like us, you fire us.
Old school. I love it.
My guys don't do their job, and they go down the road. And if you don't pay me, I fire you. So it's
the way it should be.
You understand what the expectation level is, right? I explain to you what the expectation is, and our job is to exceed your expectations, and that's what we do.
I love it.
Yeah, I love
I
it
do.
too. Well, thank you for coming in today. If anybody needs a pool, service a pool, just please call Chris Thompkins of Freedom Pool Services, and he'll come out there and give you a good price.
Yes, sir. Yeah, check us out on social media or give us a call at 704-960-SWIM.
Perfect.
I love it. Thanks, Chris.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Chris. Thanks for coming in today.
All right, thank you.
Hey guys, if you liked what you heard today, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel grow.